Sure. Uh, I want to appreciate everyone that has contributed to the success of this workshop. And in conclusion, the rapporteurs have come with a communique which our senior colleagues have made some input. So it's a privilege for me now to read it to your hearing. Maybe it will also give you opportunity to add one or two things to it for perfection. Thank you for listening to the communique. Workshop on dam safety management held at Global Village Suites and Conference Center, Maraba, Kefi, Abuja Road, Nasarawa State from 26th to 27th of June. The workshop on dam safety management held at Global Village Suites and Conference Center, Maraba, Kefi, Abuja Road, Nasarawa State from 26th to 27th June 2025. The workshop, which is a stakeholder engagement towards implementation of the Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria SPIN project, has the objective to ensure the safety and resilience of all dams in Nigeria. The workshop was attended by the Permanent Secretary of Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, Mr. Richard Filangua, ably represented by the Director, Reform, Coordination and Service Improvement, in person of Mr. Moses Jomagudu. Other participants include directors and staff of Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, representatives from Federal Ministry of Power, National Water Resources Institute, representative of State Ministry of Water Resources, River Basin Development Authority, genetic companies, genetic companies of Nigeria, GENCOs, resource person and the press. A total of 121 participants physically and 37 online were in attendance. The Director, Dams and Reservoir Operation, Engineer A.I. Dala. Thank you for your observation. I will be stopping from time to time so that if there's any comments or input to make. So on that note, I will stop for a while on paragraph 2 so that people can make input for the people in charge to effect the correction. Thank you.
The representative of the permanent secretary is Moses Joe Madugu, not Mabudu.
Okay. Okay.
Madugu.
Thank you, sir, for your observation. It's correct. The secretariats they are taking it. They are working on that. Any other comments before we proceed further? We want to move to paragraph 3. In the absence of any further correction, we move to paragraph 3. The directors, Dams and Reservoir Operation Engineer A.I. Dala, FNC, FNIWE, in his welcome address, expressed appreciation to the invited guests and reiterated the aim of the workshop. He urged all the participants to contribute actively to the discussion, share expertise, ask critical questions, and help to co-create solutions that will ensure dam safety, functionality, and management to make them beneficial to the nation. In the absence of comments, paragraph 4. Goodwill messages were received from the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Power, represented by Engineer Ben Anyongeno, Assistant Director, Renewable and Rural Power Access, and Acting Director General, National Water Resources Institute, Dr. Mathis Eduve. Okay. Paragraph 5. The Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, in his opening address, welcomed participants to the workshop. He stated that the workshop was expected to address crucial topics identified to advance the knowledge of participants in dam safety, monitoring and risk assessment, emergency preparedness, and climate change adaptation. He stressed that the workshop will also foster collaboration, information sharing, and build stronger networks within the dam safety community towards actualizing the objective of the SPIN project. On this note, it declared the workshop open. Afterward, the vote of thanks was presented by Director 2, DRO, Madam Stella N. Arashi.
This one, which can guest? Is it the director Dams welcome address come before the Permanent Secretary's open address and the other goodwill messages? Because I'm thinking that maybe this point number 5 should be number 3 there, and number 3 become number 4, then number 4 become number 5, the same follow, because of the sequence. Because I think even the last statement on paragraph 5, the vote of thanks should be now maybe the paragraph 6, then paragraph 7 now becomes 7. So, as the sequence of the workshop goes, because this thing I don't up and down, I don't know. But it's just an observation.
Actually professional, they should be able to tell us if it is a convention that the way you presented it here. Is it a convention
the agenda. That was the order of the program. Elite, paragraph 6, a lead paper on dam safety management in Nigeria was presented by Engineer Daisy Alabi. He stated that the principal goal of a dam safety management was to guarantee dam you have to go back. To guarantee that dams are planned, built, and next page. Next slide. Maintain in a way that prevents unacceptable public risk over their operational life cycle. He further stated that dam safety management in Nigeria I read paragraph 6 again. A lead paper on dam safety management in Nigeria was presented by Engineer Daisy Alabi. He stated that the principal goal of a dam safety management was to guarantee that dams are planned, built, and maintained in a way that prevent unacceptable public risk over their operational life cycle. He further stated that dam safety management in Nigeria was a critical issue. Many dams are in need of rehabilitation, facing challenges in operation and maintenance, and lack of formal dam safety management programs or guidance in Nigeria. He concluded by proposing the development of dam safety management system, emergency action plan, adoption of regulations, guidelines, and risk-based approach in the dam development and implementation of training and capacity building towards the safe management of our dam infrastructure. I want to pause here if there's any input.
It's just for us to ask the participants if this is a true reflection of what the paper contains. Go through if this is a true reflection of what the paper represents, then that's
Okay, I think we can proceed. During the technical session, 5 technical papers were presented, which include overview of the SPIN project and dam safety component by Engineer Amina Imam Binuyo. Dam safety portfolio screening, introduction to recent tool for Nigeria by Dr. Marvin Paul Agokwo. Code of practice for dams and reservoir operation by Dr. Martin Eduve. Dam failure and flooding incidency in Nigeria by Engineer Matthew Oke-Ofie, and dam inspection and reporting of incident by Engineer Dr. Musa Nimrod. Any comment?
The last paper was actually provided by Nimrod or representatives. And then Engineer Abina Washigo presented or represented the training.
You are right, sir.
So please take note.
Both of them represented the resource person. So, Secretariat, please take note of that. Paragraph, okay, observation. Somebody want to make a contribution?
Engineer Amina Imam
You are right.
while myself, Engineer Dr. Meshach Alpha, represented Engineer Dr. Musa Nimodu.
You are right. Paragraph 8. At the end of the technical session, there was a panel discussion in which discussants were drawn from Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, Agroclimate Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscape, ACRESA project, and the private sector. The discussion was centered on need to regularly update the dam register in the country, needs to enforce the code of practice for dams and reservoir operation in Nigeria, needs to develop standard programs for dams, for design and construction of dams, as well as their operations and maintenance, and need to produce a national policy on dams and reservoirs, as well as harmonize existing regulations and guidelines to come up with a robust policy on dams and reservoir operations. Any input? Paragraph 8.
Third line, they see climatic supposed to be capitalized. Because if you look at the acronym, it's capital, it's not correct.
This it should be capital, sir.
Yes.
You are right.
Put it on upper case. Access. See the C, yes. The C is climatic. I hope it's clear.
Please give him microphone so that we.
I came under the umbrella of Total Engineering Services, but notwithstanding, usually if I can. Just give it 600. It's okay.
Again, maybe you have a. Okay. Paragraph 9. The workshop identified the challenges facing dam safety management in Nigeria as follows. Many of Roman figure 1, many of the dams in Nigeria need rehabilitation. 2, lack of national policy on dam and reservoir operation in Nigeria. 3, most dams identified could not meet the requirement of the risk index screening of dams in Nigeria, reason 2. 4, non-enforcement of the code of practice for dams and reservoir operation. 5, the majority of Nigeria dams, public and private owned, are underutilized and constitute a major risk to the nation. 6, availability and accessibility to vital documentation on dam development, in bracket, design drawing, EIA report, hydrological data, etc. Let's hear from Dr. Marvin.
Thank you very much. Item 9.3. Most dams identified will not meet the requirement of risk industry of dams in Nigeria. I think it was not properly captured. It should better rate most targeted dams
Thank you for your comments. The last paragraph, paragraph 10.
Because I see this paragraph 9, item 6. Is it non-availability and accessibility, or there is availability and accessibility? What is or like or what is there? Because
It should be non-availability, non-availability. Secretary, take note, non-availability. Yes, you are right, sir. Some.
non-availability and accessibility of vital documentation on some dams.
Okay. Se- Please, Mr. Adekola, we couldn't hear you. Can you increase the volume so that...
Improper and inadequate records of dams. Not that they are not available, they are available, but they are not stored kept properly.
I will suggest that we adopt non-availability and accessibility to vital documents on some of our dams. It's not all the dams, some, not all, or most. You can use most.
For you to stand your ground on this last sentence, you need to have a backup. You have an idea of statistics that suggest what you are going to portray. You have
experience, the completion of the comprehending of dams, number one. Then this index screening now. There's a lot of information there. A lot. On almost all the dams. Yes. Except the recently completed dams, which are quite few. The information gap is huge.
I want to support what Director 2, DRO, has said, because our interaction with River Basin during the assessment revealed that most of the dams lack documentations and they are battling with it. Even they reach out to the state government, the same problem, the documentation. We move to the last paragraph, which is paragraph 10. After extensive deliberations, the workshop resolved as follows: provision of adequate funding for the rehabilitation of dams, development of number 2, development of national policy on dams and reservoir.
Dams. Provision of adequate funding for the rehabilitation of dams. First.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
the way it's standing,
Number two, after extensive deliberation, the workshop resolved as follows. Number one, corrected. I move to number two. I mean Roman figure 2, development of national policy on dams and reservoir. Number 3, I mean Roman figure 3, strict enforcement of the code of practice for dams and reservoir by regulating agencies to bring about sanity in dams and reservoir operation in Nigeria. 4, dams should be used for the objective of its design, used for the objective of its design. 5, the ministry should ensure that all documents relating to construction, and rehabilitation of dams are properly secured and stored for easy access and retrieval when required.
I want to note strict enforcement of code of practice. Who are the regulating agencies in the ministry that we have? Then my addition to that is that the director agreed to a 5 years audit of the plan register. I think that's part of the resolution. The ministry should ensure that all documents related to construction, I think we should include design.
Agreed. Any other input before we conclude it?
We have made one observation. That's on paragraph 10. Rather than repeating need for this, and other items, we observe that you can put it at the opening statement and it will cover the other items. For instance, you say, let me read this. After extensive deliberations, the workshop resolved the need for the following. The provision of adequate development of its strict enforcement, dams, that's to flow like that, so that it will cover all other items under it. Yes, so just go ahead, don't go up number 10, includes need, and it will be applied, automatically on other items beneath. We've got it. Okay. I don't know the conclusion on number 4. Dam should be used for the objective of its design. I said we have a contribution. If that has been practiced, why emphasize it?
Any other comments?
See, please, still on that, every dam does not have the same use. So by the time we now, means all the dams have the same use. So it's better to leave it that way than listing examples because they are not the same. Thank you.
You can put such as.
Yes, I think actually the director mentioned 5 years updates. I just want to, is that what's the compendium? The 5 years update register, or is a suggestion? Number two, if it is, we have it online, is it difficult to update dams register annually? Because within 5, we can build 2, 3 dams or something. So I think if it is really readily available online, it could be done annually since we are advocating that every dam that will be built must be registered.
I quite agree with Mr. In fact, when I mentioned 5 years, I didn't have any backup. It was not a convention. It was just maybe director's fiat. But then I quickly withdrew it to be on the safe side. Thank you.
We said strict enforcement of the code of practice for dams and reservoir by regulating agencies. Who are the regulating agencies? It will be better for us to be specific now so that these activities will not be taken to another ministry or department or agency. Let's specify. Is it Department of the Dams? Is it Main Water Resources? Is it the Institute? So it's good to be specific.
We need a response to that.
I think it's safer to leave it like that. These regulating agencies, they keep increasing in number. I'm telling you this. My first experience on that really shocked me to hear that this, even the reservoir operations was to be regulated by Federal Ministry of Environment at the point. Then I also noticed that integrated water resource management is also part of that. Then National Water Resources Institute. So these are the only one we know so far, and a number can come, a greater number of these regulated agencies can come. So I think we should just leave it as it is. While we make consultations, yes, the way my understanding initially was the dams department can be a regulator, but it's not correct. We are users, so we cannot regulate what we are using it for. What somebody else has to set a standard, a target for us to follow. That's the way it's supposed to be done in the law. You understand? So that's why the water law recognizes National Water Resource Institute, National Water Resource Institute as a regulator of some of these
In conclusion, while we're expecting the secretariat to clean up the draft communique, I want to appreciate all the contributors to this final. Okay.
My name is not, sorry for drawing you back. Paragraph 3 is like A.
Okay, sir. Secretariat, Secretariat, we do justice to that. As I was saying, in conclusion, I want to appreciate everyone that has technically contributed to this final document. So it is expected that the secretariat will clean it up and it become a vital document. Maybe the director of dams will decide on further action on the communique. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, dear participants, for the brainstorming section. That is how we'll come to the end of the program for day 2. Tomorrow is day 3. For those that will be going for the field trip, please put down your names. And the departure time, as directed, is 7:30 a.m. at the ministry. Departure time is 7:30 a.m. So please, if you are going, put down your name and be there on time. Thank you, and have a wonderful night rest.